Hi, Ann Cornick from Paint and Porcelain Exchange. And today we're going to be working on lupine. Now, if you don't know what lupine are, this is one of my lupine pictures that I have, that I painted. It's on a push plate for a swinging door. I'm here to teach beginners how to get started in China painting and to keep those of you that have been painting a while interested. Now, to that end, I have videos on YouTube, especially one that starts you out if you've never painted before. The second thing is I need to say that today's lupine are thanks to Sherry Lynn Kruger of the Michigan porcelain artists. I asked her if it was okay if I used her study because her line drawing is one of the best, and I just wanted to do one lupine, and hopefully from that you will get a good idea of how you finish it, and you can make other lupines. Now, lupines can be multiple colors. Here's a sample picture of that Sherry provided us with of how many different colors there are. There are even two tones, as you can see there. So you can paint these any color you want. This is my first fire of the big board. And I'm doing, this is today's. I'm going to do them in blues. And then next time, I think we're going to put some purples over them to really make them pop. This one that I did with Sherry originally, this one was done with, I have like a deep berry, and I'm going to use deep berry again, and some blue and some pink. See how pretty that is? My line drawings are always free, and you can get them internationally, which is one of the reasons I keep them free. So for those of you that want to have a line drawing to work from, this is the line drawing that we're going to be working on. This is the one that Sherry provided us with. It's a 5x7 tile, and that way you can frame it if you want and hang it up. And you know, once you do something like this, that kind of a picture will never fade. Now, for today, I wanted to talk to you about how I choose what colors I'm going to do. Now, when I decide on colors to paint with, you see a couple of colors on here that I wiped out. I had cool green and I had Tahiti on here. I tried them and I really didn't like them. And so when I'm experimenting, what I do is I create a palette and I put all the colors I think I might want to use on it. And I start painting with them, and then I eliminate those that don't work. So we're down to deep blue green, a cobalt blue, and deep blue green really didn't work for me much either. There's a deep berry at this end, which like an elderberry, it's kind of a reddy purple, whatever you have that works. Lorry pink, apple blossom, heliotrope. I did use any of those. You can use any kind of pink, a light pink. I used shining green, but you can use any kind of green. Moss will work for you. Shading green and baby blue this time. And all we're going to do this time, as you saw here, is we're going to put on a very light coat. Brushes for today. I'm using now, Sherry recommends using a rounded tipped brush, something more like this. See that? I tried. It didn't work for me. I can use a pointer. I can use a small pointer. I can use a small square shader. This is a six. Yes, this is a 6 square shader. It's one old one that I've had for years and years, and the sides are kind of worn down, so maybe it is a little rounded. And then this is my 1/4 inch square shader. Square shaders work better for me, maybe because I'm just used to them. So those are the brushes we're going to be using. Now, okay. On the lupine, this is the front flower. What do we call that? The keel. And then this back one here, this part here, is going to be the banner. So the banners will be darker. We're going to start up at the top, and I'm just going to use my pointer. Okay. And I like the baby blue, so I'm using a little bit of pink, apple blossom, or I can use heliotrope. Let's use heliotrope, that would be better. And a little baby blue, and I'm just chunk, chunk. And all you're doing is coming down so that you get the bulk of the color. I'm using my pointer. The bulk of the color, you want it at the base. And there's nothing to it. You just pull to the bottom. Now, if you want some of those to be a little more pink, and I think I do, or purple, I'm going to take my heliotrope, and up here I think I'm just going to make these heliotrope. There we go. Make them all look individual, okay? Down here you could do, see, that's a heliotrope one. But I think I'm going to put a little more blue with it because I like the blue better. There we go. All right. Now, as we get further down, I'm going to switch to light blue and a little bit of cobalt. That is my preference. It doesn't have to be yours. Okay. And then this is where we start getting into more of the colors. So I'm going to put a pink or a heliotrope in front. Which one's in front? This one's in front. This one's in front. I was trying to do them two-tone for a while, and I really didn't have a lot of luck. So I ended up doing it this way. And then I'm going to go back and get my cobalt. Do the cobalt in the back. There we go. I want this to be a little more pointy. There we are. Now, the color is sort of at the base. And I like the mixture of these colors. So now I'm going to switch over to my number 6 square shader. Now I can double load. So I'm going to do a pink and a cobalt. And just gingerly pull across. And then I'm going to do more cobalt for the back here. It's pretty easy. You're just doing C strokes, basically. And you're pulling it to the base. The darkest color should be at the base. But you want them to be a little bit different. So that's why I full load with pink. And then I side load with the, so I'm using my Lori pink. I like Lori pink. And I'm side loading with the cobalt. Like that. But sometimes it just doesn't show up the way I want it to. In which case, I'm going to go back to doing just the Lori pink right now. Oh, too heavy. There we go. Or you can use heliotrope if you'd rather on the front ones. That's a back, that's a back, that's a back. I think I'll make this a front. Some of them have specific shapes, and you know they're in the back, but not all of them do. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with the cobalt. I'm going to do that guy. And don't worry if you covered the thing, because if you cover it, you can come back and you'll see what we're going to do. Try to leave a little color. Hang on here. On the point. Because you have to know where that is. Remember, if you go back and there's no color on the point at all on these, you aren't going to be able to find them once you fire. Okay? And here we're going to put a little bit of cobalt here. Now, let's say you want to do a different color. You can. You can change colors if you want. You can add other colors in as you come down. They can get darker and darker. So if I wanted to, I could add a little berry now. And see how that would do? I don't like the berry, sorry. I'm going to go back to my blue. I like the blue in the background. There we go. It just works better for me right now. And just keep turning it, but make sure you get those edges, because otherwise you're not going to know where one ends and the other begins. This is blue back here. That's one of those, what do they call them, banners? This is a banner. That's definitely blue. I'm going to have to go through with my pointed Q-tip and just really do a number on these to clean them up, because some of them are not quite as, now they're little, everything's a little too blue. So let's get back into the pink or heliotrope. I think I'm going heliotrope, because the pink, the Lori pink, I don't know about you, anybody else, I feel like Lori pink doesn't really have any color to it. It's sort of a, I mean, it's pretty by itself, but when you try to mix it with a bright color like this, it doesn't seem to mix very well. So I'm just going to use this for my light color on there, like that. And then I'm going to go into the cobalt side load and just pull it down like this. And then the flag is back here. See this flag back here? It's right here. There we go. What you're doing is you're coloring in, mainly with a lighter color, the front flower. And I make the top part of it the lighter color if I can. Now, I haven't done it consistently. Like back here, I didn't do it. So if I wanted to, I could go back and take my heliotrope and just get that there. It's a little prettier. And then that will be your lighter color. And then you're going to put a darker color at the base. Here we go. I think this one's on top. This one's on top. And I think those are all behind. So let's get the blue here. And always try to pick colors that blend well together or that will stand their own. If you're not sure if the colors are going to blend well together, when you get them in the kiln, you may not like the results. So try to get colors that you know are going to do well together. Doing the banner, right? Yeah, the banner that's in the back here on these guys. Now, I was supposed to do the stem first, and I did for a while. But then I found that by doing the stem first, when I did the flowers, I just messed it up. So this is a banner. And then down here, we'll make this. Oops, got one more here I didn't see. Got to get rid of this blue. Okay. Get some heliotrope here. Okay. Now I'm going to do the banner. Well, hang on. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that, actually. I'm going to take this first and go around and kind of clean them up. Where I obviously went out of the lines. I used a brush that was pretty big. I've always been told use the biggest brush you can. It's an old teacher's adage, but it does work. I want this here. I don't want that to be messy. I don't want this to be messy. There we go. There. Okay, a little here. All right, now let's put well, I'm going to use this kind of a liner, my scroller actually, to put in the stem. And the stem on this, now I looked at the pictures. And here it's like whatever color the flower is. It's green and then a little of that. And then here, see, it's green, but it has a little of the purple. But then here, it's all green. So I'm going to use kind of a moss green. Okay, I'm going to start from the bottom. Ah, it's the only problem with using a scroller. Sometimes it messes up for you. I'm going to press off some of that color. It's a little intense for me. There we go. You want it to be a substantial stalk. You want it to be a stalk that will support all these flowers. So keep in mind that it has to be pretty substantial to do that. Here, let's just do a little more here. I want a little green in there. And then I want a little green up in here. And here. Want a little green up in here. Okay, and then up in here. There we go. Okay. Works for me. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to start going on them and just sort of, I'm using a Q-tip and I'm just sort of giving them a little highlight. Now, it's best to look at a picture of one if you have one. That's why I said print out a picture, because here, this is probably a good one. Here you can see it's lighter down the middle. So I'm just giving them a little bit of highlight. The front ones mainly, not the back ones. The sun is coming this way. And I'm also trying to separate these a little like that, so they aren't quite so close. Where's this guy? Oh, it's here. Okay. Okay. So you can use your Q-tip to do a little bit of separation. There. Oh, that was a little too heavy-handed. Okay, let me get my blue here. There. Gonna get a fresh Q-tip. Way up on the tip of it. When you're separating these. See, you're way up in the tip. Take your time. Don't go too fast. Oh, went too fast. This one won't wipe out for me. I'm going to do it with my brush. When you wipe out, make sure you get a lot of the, there. Get a lot of the paint off. Make sure that you have all the turpentine off too. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to look at it. Make sure I've separated everything that needs separation. So now we're going to start working on the leaves. Now with the leaves, this is probably the best example of leaves that she has. You can see the light, the middle of the leaf is lighter, and these little things coming up are lighter. So the center of the leaf is lighter, the middle where they meet is lighter, the stem is lighter. Here's another leaf down here, and it's darker in the center. So I guess you can do anything you want. I'm going to show you how I do them. Now this is a bud. So before I get into the leaves, I think I want to do a bud, just so that I don't forget that that's a bud and make it green. Okay? So I'm going to take some heliotrope, and I'm just going to pull the heliotrope down. You're only painting the base, basically, and then you're going back up and just touching the top. Or you can paint the whole thing and just wipe out what you don't like. I'm taking some baby blue now and putting it down here at the base. The pink is actually your lightest color, so you don't really need to wipe anything out. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, pretty simple. Now I'm going to start painting the leaves. These leaves over here are pretty simple. My green gets too heavy for me. Nope. See, this is me. I need to use a small square shader. I don't care what anybody says. A small square shader works the best for me. If I side load it and just come down. You use what works best for you. If a pointer works best for you, you can use that. This is just a bud of the leaves, so it doesn't have to be too exact. There we go. Now I can switch back to my pointer. Okay. And I'm going to get some of those fancy little Q-tips again. I noticed the problem there. I'm just going to make sure I separate these out, because there I sort of filled it in. There. I'm not going to have a background on this, so I want to make sure that these stand on their own. The key is to rest your hand and just flick it. If you try to do, see like here, if you try to do too much, you're going to have a problem. So just rest your hand and flick it. I'm going to take a little bit of the moss green and a little bit of the shading green. And I'm going to pull from the outside down. And then go back. There we go. Beep. I don't know why I did these and didn't finish them. The idea is to leave some color, some light in the center. And the way I do that is I paint towards the center with my brush like this. Then I flip it around and I paint the outside edge. And then I sort of just lightly brush over it, and that gives me a little bit of highlight, but not too much. Let me do that again. Full load of the moss, side load of the shading. Now the center of this is light. come from the outside in, it'll be easier for you. And then make the center of that light. There. I hear you. Okay. These guys down here, the back guys I'm making dark. The front guys are kind of a combination. And then I'm just coming back and doing the edge. And then I will wipe out the center. I might use a stump here. It does a better job for the center, yep. Ah, yeah, got pink. Okay, and then take your pointer, or you can use one of these guys, or you could use your Pico-Pay, whatever you have handy. There. The secret to these leaves is to do them quickly. Long strokes. Don't worry if they aren't perfect. Be very light on your brush. Very light. And you notice I load it almost every time. I clean my brush frequently because I load it frequently. I'm cleaning it right now. Full load of the green. Side load of the shading green. And my side load is barely there. Yeah, I was afraid that would be out of there. I'll move it down. Okay. And then we'll come out here and out here. Now I'm going to take my big guy and pounce in the center here to give me some light. And then we're going to take these little guys and just go beep, 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 beep. And they're a little heavy, but if they're too heavy, you can always just go over them a little. There we go. Now I'm going to work on these two guys. They're going to be easier. Turn them upside down because they're buds. So I'm doing the top first. Just one side. These are long, narrow leaves, so just do one side at a time. Don't kind of think of it as a production line. I do the side that's the easiest. I'm right-handed, I do the left side. Then I flip them around and I come down this way. Remember, this is the first fire. If you don't like the way it looks, you can add more paint to the next fire, and that will make it so much better. Now I'm going to go down this side here. Yep. This side, this side, this side, and this side. Okay. Clean my brush. Full load of the moss. Side load of the shading. Now, you don't have to use these colors. Oops, you know what? I think, oh, too dark. There. Yeah, I like that better. You may need to smooth a little bit at the bottom of it. There. That's pretty. Okay. So here I'm going to start at the bottom, but they're long strokes. Notice I start on the side. Actually, I start on this side. And this guy needs to come up here a little bit, right? So I come down the long side and then just do 3 more. If you load your brush properly, it'll basically do it for you. Okay, then reload and do the other end. It's kind of the same thing both times. And if you don't think it's dark enough, go back and get just the dark. Okay, now that middle needs to be light. I left it light. Just patting it out with this guy a little bit. And I'm going to get my Pico Pay because I think it won't be as heavy. I get kind of heavy-handed, so I don't want to be too heavy-handed. I need a little more dark here. A little dark there. Okay. Look at the leaf. If the leaf is going this way, that's the way you go. If the leaf is going this way, that's the way you go. So then you have to turn it so you can go like that, right? This one goes that way, this one goes that way, but notice I move my hand. Don't try to do them all from one position. You will have a problem. Okay. Let's get down here to the bottom. As you come into the foreground, things are going to get a little darker. You don't have to, but you can if you want. Beep, beep. I'm loading again. Just the end. Bring that guy down there. Just the end. Use some of the paint that's on the leaf already and just pull it up even. That'll help you. There you go. Then we're going to tamp out the middle. This guy isn't very... There, that's better. And we're going to take this little guy and go. Now, if they come down this way, you have to be at the bottom if you're right-handed, or the other way if you're left-handed. The thing is, you want to make sure you can see these and that you understand where to put your... The hardest thing for me is to do the leaves, the middle of the leaf, these little things. They actually have little things that come off like this. And you can do them if you want, because the next time, you know, just do a couple here and there. Because the next time, what's going to happen is you're going to be painting over them. And so that'll keep them real subtle. Wipe off your thing. And bring these out to the end. Make sure that they're not just stopping with a blunt point like that one did. Bring them out to the end. There we go. This back one I'm going to make mainly dark because it's in the back. If your brush isn't doing what you want it to do, it might be that it's got too much junk on it. These do not have, back here you don't have to be real particular. It's kind of a shadow thing. So those I don't worry about too much. Okay. Think about what colors you want to use and do like I do. Experiment a little bit. You can experiment on a tile next to you and just blending the colors. But you want colors to be, you want the second color to pop. So whatever you use for your first color, try to pick one that's kind of mild. And then for the second color, you want it to really pop. So you're, that's why I picked cobalt. I'm going to fire this. This is how it turned out. I really like it. I'm going to fire it, and then we'll wait and see how it turns out. Okay, pick up your brushes. Keep painting. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.